Imagine waking up every morning believing you slept through the night, yet feeling exhausted before the day has even begun. Imagine blaming your age, your busy schedule, or simple stress, while an invisible condition quietly places an increasing burden on your heart with every passing night. What if the greatest threat to your blood pressure is not hidden in the food on your plate or the stress at your workplace, but in the silent moments when you are completely asleep? This is a reality for millions of people who have sleep apnea without even realizing it. They close their eyes expecting rest, but instead experience repeated interruptions in breathing that force their bodies into a constant state of emergency. Every pause in breathing can briefly reduce oxygen levels, causing the brain to react with alarm and push the body awake just enough to restart normal breathing. These episodes may happen dozens or even hundreds of times during a single night, often without any memory of waking up. While the mind struggles to recover from broken sleep, the heart continues to work under extraordinary pressure. Blood vessels tighten, stress hormones surge, and blood pressure begins to climb, creating a dangerous cycle that can continue for years before symptoms become impossible to ignore. Many people spend countless hours searching for the reason behind their stubborn high blood pressure, never suspecting that the answer may be hidden beneath their pillow. Medications may help manage the numbers on a blood pressure monitor, but they cannot always solve the hidden cause if interrupted breathing remains untreated. This is why understanding the connection between sleep apnea and cardiovascular health is so important. It is not simply about sleeping better or waking up with more energy. It is about protecting the heart from repeated nightly stress that quietly increases the risk of heart attack, stroke, irregular heartbeat, and heart failure. Medical experts have spent years studying this connection, and the evidence continues to grow stronger. Educational voices like Dr. Evan Levine have inspired many people to look beyond obvious symptoms and understand how seemingly unrelated health problems often share a common root. His educational approach reminds us that lasting heart health begins with asking deeper questions instead of accepting surface-level answers. Sleep is often described as the body's natural healing process, yet when breathing repeatedly stops, that healing process becomes a battlefield. The body never reaches the deep, restorative stages of sleep it desperately needs, leaving every organ, especially the heart, paying the price. Morning headaches, excessive daytime fatigue, loud snoring, dry mouth upon waking, poor concentration, irritability, and unexplained high blood pressure may all be pieces of the same hidden puzzle. Some people dismiss these warning signs for years because they seem ordinary or harmless, believing everyone snores or everyone feels tired after a long day. Unfortunately, the body tells a different story. Every night without proper treatment can silently strengthen the grip that sleep apnea has on cardiovascular health, making the connection between breathing and blood pressure more powerful than most people ever imagine. Understanding this hidden relationship is not about creating fear. It is about replacing uncertainty with knowledge, because once the true cause is recognized, the path toward protecting both restful sleep and a healthier heart becomes clearer than ever before. The most unsettling part of sleep apnea is not simply that it interrupts breathing, but that it often does so without demanding immediate attention. A person may continue working, exercising, spending time with family, and living what appears to be a perfectly ordinary life, while an invisible struggle repeats itself night after night. During every pause in breathing, oxygen levels begin to fall, and within seconds the brain senses danger. It releases stress signals that trigger a brief awakening, often so short that the person never remembers it the next morning. Although these awakenings restore breathing, they also prevent the body from entering the deep stages of sleep, where repair, recovery, and renewal naturally occur. This repeated cycle keeps the nervous system in a constant state of alertness, causing adrenaline and other stress hormones to remain elevated far longer than they should. Blood vessels become narrower, the heart beats with greater force, and blood pressure slowly begins to establish a higher resting level. Over months and years, this constant strain can reshape the cardiovascular system in ways that are difficult to reverse if the underlying cause remains hidden. Researchers have consistently found strong associations between untreated obstructive sleep apnea and resistant hypertension, a form of high blood pressure that remains difficult to control despite medication. Yet, this is only part of the story. Poor sleep also affects metabolism, increases inflammation throughout the body, disrupts healthy blood sugar regulation, and may contribute to weight gain, creating additional factors that place even more pressure on the heart. The body functions as an interconnected system, and when one essential process begins to fail, many others quietly follow. This is why understanding sleep apnea requires looking beyond a single symptom and appreciating how deeply connected breathing, circulation, hormones, and recovery truly are. As Dr. Evan Levine often inspires people to think, lasting heart health comes from identifying the hidden patterns that silently influence the entire cardiovascular system rather than focusing only on visible symptoms. The greatest suspense lies in the fact that many individuals never realize the damage until a routine medical appointment reveals persistently elevated blood pressure, an abnormal heart rhythm, or other concerning findings. Some discover the problem only after a loved one notices loud, snoring interrupted by long moments of silence, followed by sudden gasping for air. Others are surprised when a sleep study uncovers hundreds of breathing interruptions that occurred during what they believed was a full night of rest. At that moment, the puzzle pieces begin to fit together, and years of unexplained fatigue, poor concentration, morning headaches, and difficult-to-control blood pressure suddenly make sense. Fortunately, recognizing the condition opens a door to meaningful change. Treatments such as continuous positive airway pressure therapy, oral appliances for selected individuals, weight management when appropriate, improved sleep habits, limiting alcohol before bedtime, avoiding smoking, and following personalized medical advice can significantly reduce breathing interruptions and ease the nightly burden placed on the heart. While no single solution works for everyone, early diagnosis and consistent treatment often improve sleep quality, daytime energy, and blood pressure control while lowering long-term cardiovascular risk. Every healthy night of uninterrupted breathing gives the heart another opportunity to recover instead of struggling through repeated emergencies. That simple change can become one of the most powerful investments a person makes in protecting not only restful sleep, but also a stronger, healthier future. The journey toward better heart health often begins with a single moment of awareness, the moment when someone realizes that feeling constantly tired is not something that must simply be accepted as a normal part of growing older. Every healthy change starts with a decision to pay attention to the quiet signals the body has been sending for months or even years. Sleep apnea reminds us that the human body is remarkably resilient, yet also teaches that resilience has limits when warning signs continue to be ignored. The encouraging truth is that recognizing the problem can transform not only the quality of sleep, but also the future of cardiovascular health. Countless people who once struggled with overwhelming daytime fatigue, poor concentration, uncontrolled blood pressure, and constant exhaustion have discovered significant improvement after receiving the right diagnosis and following an appropriate treatment plan recommended by their healthcare provider. Better breathing during sleep allows oxygen to flow more consistently, reduces the repeated activation of stress hormones, supports healthier blood vessel function, and gives the heart an opportunity to perform its job without unnecessary strain throughout the night. These changes may not happen overnight, but steady progress often produces lasting rewards that extend far beyond the bedroom. Waking with greater energy, thinking more clearly, enjoying improved mood, and seeing healthier blood pressure readings can all become signs that the body is finally receiving the restorative sleep it has needed for so long. Equally important is understanding that sleep apnea rarely exists in isolation. Maintaining a healthy weight, eating a balanced diet rich in vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and lean proteins, staying physically active, limiting alcohol, avoiding tobacco products, managing stress, and following medical advice all work together to strengthen the cardiovascular system. Each positive habit supports the next, creating a foundation that allows the heart to function more efficiently while reducing the burden placed upon it over time. The philosophy that Dr. Evan Levine encourages through heart health education reminds us that true wellness is rarely built upon one dramatic decision, but instead grows through consistent daily choices that protect the body before serious disease develops. Knowledge becomes powerful only when it inspires meaningful action, and every informed decision moves a person closer to a healthier future. If you or someone you love experiences loud snoring, repeated pauses in breathing during sleep, choking or gasping at night, persistent daytime sleepiness, morning headaches, difficulty concentrating, or high blood pressure that remains difficult to control, consider discussing these symptoms with a qualified healthcare professional. A proper evaluation may reveal answers that have remained hidden for years, offering an opportunity to improve both sleep quality and long-term heart health before more serious complications arise. Remember that this information is meant to educate and encourage awareness rather than replace professional medical care. Every individual has unique health needs, and personalized guidance from a qualified healthcare provider remains the safest path toward diagnosis and treatment. By choosing to understand the silent relationship between sleep apnea and high blood pressure today, you are taking an important step toward protecting your heart for tomorrow, because every peaceful breath during the night is another chance for your heart to rest, recover, and continue serving you faithfully through every new day. If you are benefiting from our topics, please subscribe, like, and turn on the bell notification so you can see our new videos early.